We're back with the future of growth in Knox County. John, we know a lot of folks are coming.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're about to pass 500,000, right, for the Knox County population. It's going to keep on going from there.
Keep rolling. So let's talk big picture. We have this growth plan, the growth policy plan, that is about to be voted on this month by the Farragut Board of Aldermen, and has passed County Commission and City Council already. Let's talk about the public process behind this. Mandi, this isn't something that just came up over a few weeks. This has been years in the making. Explain that.
It has. We started this process in October of 2021, and we have spent 2 years going out to the community. We held 3 rounds of public engagement for the comprehensive plan. We looked at priorities for our community. We chose the preferred scenario, determining where we wanted to grow and how we wanted to grow. And then we had our last round of public engagement where people gave us feedback on that. We had over 5,000 people involved throughout this process. So it has been a communicated process.
And we've heard the mayor in the past, it's really his plan, Mayor Jacobs' plan, but he's talked about the need for density and trying, it seems like, in his own way of educating people, saying we have to have denser communities from moving forward. Is that fair?
Yes, it is fair. And we also want those more dense communities where infrastructure is in place, where we don't have to chase those communities with road improvements. And Jim can speak a little bit more to that.
There were a couple specific issues. We've really already talked about one, and it's the one that's not going to go away from now on, and that is transportation. And I wonder, Jim, if you could clarify a couple things for me. You've been asked about this by other people in terms of, okay, transportation is something we need to think about. How does this align, the growth plan, with how county budgets money for long-term growth for infrastructure? And in addition, if I can ask you, how are you aligning, if at all, with what TDOT is thinking for spending money around here?
For sure. John, one of the things, like Mandi said, we had a lot of partners in this process. TDOT being one, the city being another, the town of Farragut. Anybody that maintains a roadway in Knox County was part of this process. So as we drew these boundaries and proposed these boundaries, all those transportation folks were at that table. And as we drew those boundaries, we were very concise about, is the roadway transportation there? Is the water and sewer infrastructure there? As well as the schools. The schools were at that table. So we really wanted to make sure that this plan was, economically viable and included all those parties to make sure that it was.
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
So the other thing, as you're talking, there may be some people watching us thinking, oh my Lord, there are all these new roads that are going to be built that are going to destroy my neighborhood or upset the quiet when I can go sit out on my front porch drinking my coffee in the morning or whatever. What about that? Are we to that point where you already sort of know where the roads are going to be, or are we too early with that?
In the Hardin Valley community, yes, we know. That community has grown leaps and bounds over the past 10 years. So we do have expansions planned for Hardin Valley that I think most people understand are upcoming. There are some other areas like in East Knoxville and South Knoxville that we're proposing growth, but we don't know exactly how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So we're going to do some small area studies coming up later this year that will give folks an opportunity, like we did as part of the comprehensive plan, to really dive in and have their voice in that process to make sure that the transportation improvement is effective as well as context sensitive with their community.
And one other follow-up question to that. The Beltway, which has now, we've all been through that with the Beltway about 15 years ago. You mentioned Hardin Valley. That's once upon a time where everybody thought it might go. Not going to happen now, as as H.W. Bush might say. But we do think we're going to get some kind of a Beltway. Does it appear to, are you all thinking that it potentially crosses or touches Knox County in any way? And is that something that you have to think about with the growth plan?
At this point, I think Hardin Valley and really our community is so heavily developed.
Right.
I don't believe it would be, I think it would be cost prohibitive for the state to consider the alignment they once did. I personally feel like it would have to go around Knox County and really just to avoid some of the traffic, just to get it further out of that congested area.
We've got to take another quick break. Mr. Roberto, I'm going to bring you back in because I have a little something here we need to talk about, which is Plan A1. If you're a policy wonk, you're going to love this. We'll be back with more Inside Tennessee right after this.